Hello and welcome to Crochet Moments episode
15!
Today I am being accompanied by...
Me!
Oh gosh, it's going to be one of those again. So, and who are you?
Catherine! Obviously, if you've not seen that bonus wool episode, then go watch it.
There you have it. So regular viewers of my podcast and the vlogs I did over Christmas will know that I have two daughters. One of them is Emily, who invaded us last week. If you haven't seen that little monster, feel free to go back to that episode and have a look. Also, she appears...
What do you mean by invaded?
Taken over.
It wasn't last week. It was last week.
Episode. Sorry.
Oh.
Last episode.
So what did you say?
Oh gosh. Yeah, so they both appear quite regularly throughout my vlogmas that I did back in December, and Catherine
Forget about December, it's spring now.
Are we going to have a whole hour of you interrupting me?
Maybe.
I might have to cut a few bits out.
No, never. Never.
So, Catherine is my...
Nutso child.
You're both nutso. Who's my 10-year-old.
Yep. 10, I'm a million. Okay, so that's better.
Yes, Catherine insisted on being part of this episode because Emily was part of last episode.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm gonna be famous.
I'm Helen, and I'd like to say a special welcome to the new subscribers that I've seen coming up. I'm up to 61 subscribers now, so it's all very exciting. So big hello to every single one of my subscribers.
Hello.
And if this episode and the last episode haven't put you off watching my channel, kudos to you. They're very keen to have a part in my channel.
Yep.
So every now and then I might pop in a few vlogs where we've done some day trips when we're no longer in lockdown in the UK, and we've actually been able to visit places. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So, oh, crikey. So, yes, as I said, this is episode 15, and this is my place where I like to talk all things yarn. So,
and hook sometimes.
Yes, all things crochet, knitting. I do a little bit of other bits and bobs of crafts as well, so every now and then you might see those pop in. So, without further ado, the main reason that Catherine wanted to take part in this episode is...
my Pusheen!
So let's just block your face, Catherine. We need to... So this is Pusheen the Cat. I've made two of these, and even though I've stopped receiving the Crochet Society boxes now, I have decided that I'm going to carry on practicing amigurumis because I see so many really, really lovely things and my girls are both very yarn worthy. They always enjoy the toys that I make and the wearables that I make.
Toys, wearables.
And so they both really like this, and it took next to no time at all to make. It's really simple. Oh, is it seeing me? It's really, really simple. And there it is, just about in focus. And apparently it's quite a popular character. I'm not quite sure. Oh dear. So there is that. Are you going to go off and play your Sims now?
No, I'm going to keep interrupting you and become famous.
You'll be famous for the first person to be murdered on YouTube.
Now you're joking.
Who says?
Me.
Right, so you go off and play your Sims.
No!
Okay, you can join in then.
Yeah, I'm joining in.
But stop interrupting so much, please.
I'm getting back with my Sims. Don't mind me over here.
Oh dear. Yeah, so that's Catherine out the way. Well, she's still here. She's just to the side
I'm
of...
here. Hi.
So hopefully she
Hi.
won't keep interrupting. Please don't keep interrupting. So that is my one and only finish for this fortnight, I think. I'm not sure. Had I finished Emily's socks the last time I don't think I had, and they are in the laundry basket because Emily has been wearing them.
And they're obviously dirty.
Obviously. And Catherine still wears hers. She loves hers so much, even though I did make them a tiny bit short on the foot, but she still wears them. So it's just on to my works in progress. So I've not got huge amounts to show because there hasn't been lots of progress made on many of my items. And I might have to go off camera a little bit to dig around to get some of them because I think they've gone down the side of the sofa. So I'll start with the easiest one to get to, which is my socks. And my socks are living in my Knit Me Sane bag, which I really love. Really, really like these bags. So I'll definitely, I think, treat myself to one when I treat myself to, if she does another Christmas Eve box. So my socks. This time I'm making some socks for myself. So nice to be making something for me, sock-wise. Oh, crap. And I am making the toe bean socks. And these are designed by Kirsty Bissett, and I haven't got a clue how that is pronounced. Grey Creations. This is the pattern that I got in my Christmas Eve box from Knit Me Sane. So I really, really enjoy this. The look of this pattern. And I thought I would keep with the theme of my Christmas Eve bag. And I am using the yarn from my Christmas Eve bag. Ooh. Focus. It's not wanting to... Ah, there it is. I was just holding a little bit too close. So this, I'm not quite sure that really picks up the beauty of the colour there. This is the Knit Me Sane Christmas Eve box standard 4-ply, so it's 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon, 425 metres of fingering weight yarn. So there it is, Knit Me Sane. And there's the label, so this is the Let It Go colour. Why is that not focusing? There it is. And I love this. I love this yarn. It's so nice to work with. Oh, and also I'm using the stitch marker as well that came in it, even though the stitch marker was a Christmas tree. I did cast these on my short circular, because that's one of the ways that I enjoy working on my socks, but for some reason, I don't know, maybe my tension's changed a little. I was struggling to get the stitches to go all the way around, so I switched to DPNs and it's been so much easier. And I'm actually managing to knit these without getting a stripe where I'm changing needles. So these have, they're probably not going to show up terribly well. These have got a little lace pattern that runs up along the side, and each sock, it runs up the opposite side of the foot. So I just look at those colours. Just look how they're working up. They're just so pretty. And I really wish that you could see just how pretty, because from what I can see, it's not coming out as lovely. And there's lots of shades of blue, there's some purple and lilac, And here is my stitch marker. And I've forgotten the maker of the stitch marker. It's a little Christmas tree. Probably can't see it terribly well against the yarn. I just love that. It's so pretty. And I'm really enjoying working on them. It's a really easy repeat as well. There's my, and I keep my DPNs in my DPN holders. I have this one, which is the one I use the most at the moment. I've got another one somewhere, probably somewhere in my little craft shelf that sits next to the sofa. And that is, these are both made by Jo Piccalilli, and she has an Etsy shop. And I had planned on treating myself to a project bag from her shop for my birthday, but I ended up buying other things instead. So obviously one of those things I showed last time, that was an early birthday present for me, which was the surprise bag from Knit Me Sane with the absolutely gorgeous yarn that I'm still waiting for pattern suggestions. So it was a DK yarn with some really pretty colours. So if you haven't seen that, do head back to my last video. I know it's quite a long one, but I do have timestamps underneath all of my videos in case they do run over, just because I talk too much, basically. And I often go off in tangents, and a few of my loyal subscribers have commented they don't mind that so much, but and I don't mind watching podcasts where people go off on tangents, but I know some people prefer short and sweet. Anywho, my next, let's just work through the ones I can get to. The easiest ones to access. So my next work in progress is the one that Outpost sweater. The pattern book stuck in my bag.
It's Outpost jumper.
Actually, it's Outpost pullover. So this is a pattern that I'm knitting from the Harry Potter knitting book. And there are so many things in here that I want to make. So I'm just going to have to work through them as my stash allows. So this is the pullover that I'm making. And I am using the So Crafty Aran yarn from Aldi, and this is in forest green. I'm regretting spending money out of my wages this month for yarny things, because I found out today that this week is the Aldi yarn event. Catherine's making a face.
Don't you react to my face, stay me.
So we both like the Aldi yarn event, don't we?
Yeah.
I did look at the colours that they have available, and there aren't as many colours as I would normally like, so I might have to have a little word with Simon and see if he will lend me the money until I get paid. Okay, because I've spent my budget for the month on yarny things. So anyway, my sweater, is that the back? Yes. I have finished the main body. Here it is. I've tried it on and it fits perfectly. So here's the cable. The cable section is not without mistakes, but I don't mind that so much, simply because it is, well, I haven't got a lot of experience with cables, and I'm happy with the fact that I've probably only made 2 mistakes in the whole panel, which goes all the way around the back. So I have come a cropper with the sleeves. I've just got one of my cables in there now at the moment. Ooh, so I basically, first of all, I started with the wrong length cable, and I realised I didn't have the right length cable, so I bought the right length cable for my interchangeables, and that turns out to be a little too short to manoeuvre properly. So what I am going to do, and I have ordered some DPNs, and I'm going to work the sleeves with on DPNs. I'm not sure whether or not to add a few stitches to the sleeve to start with, because I'm a bit chunky in the arms, but I don't know, I shall see. I shall maybe pop them on some waste yarn as I get further down the arm and try them on. But I really do love this sweater. It's beautiful. I can't wait to be able to wear it out in public and have people go, "Oh, that's nice, where did you get it from?" Because there's nothing a crafter likes more than have somebody say, "Oh, where did you buy that?" when you can say, "I made it." I really, really like this so much. So we shall see how that gets going. So once those needle DPNs come, and I did treat myself to the carbons. I think they're made a carbon fibre manufacture on the needles, Knit Pro. So I'm going to hopefully try those out. And that was a bit of a treat as well, because that was £11 for a set of DPNs. And by comparison, a set of the Knit Pro Zings, which are the ones that I predominantly use, are about £5. So it's double. But it is coming from Italy. I ordered them on Amazon, and I checked progress because it said your order has dispatched. And I looked, and it said they were in a warehouse somewhere in Italy. So I haven't got a clue when they're going to end up arriving. So I can't work on this until they arrive. So we shall see. So let's move that to one side. So I mentioned that I intend to continue practicing my amigurumi skills. So my next project that I'm going to show is a new start, and it is an amigurumi. And this is, it is Delilalh the Dinosaur. And how cute is Delilalh the Dinosaur? She is so cute. This is in my Crochet Now magazine, in its issue 36. I can't remember the date this was released. It's one of my earlier copies, so it's probably at least a year, if not a little bit longer. I always forget how long I've been crocheting. So I've only been crocheting for 2 to 3 years now, and I can't remember when I started. I think it was the year before last. It definitely wasn't. Could it have been 2020? Anyway, Delilalh the Dinosaur. Do we have a designer's name on here? Yes, she's designed by Val Pierce. And it is from the Rico Toy Box collection that the Crochet Now magazine did. This one is made out of the samples Rico Rikorumi, which is a cotton yarn. So I am using an acrylic from my stash. One of my aims with the amigurumi is to use stash. So they're not going to be made necessarily out of colours similar to what's in the magazine. They are going to just generally work up as I want them, at whatever stash that I can find. So the yarn I am using is an old variegated yarn. This is from a yarn cake from Aldi. And it is actually a cake that I bought when Catherine was showing interest in knitting, because she wanted to have a go at making a scarf, and she was doing really, really well, and then she lost interest. As most not teenagers, she's not a teenager yet, although sometimes I wonder, as most 10-year-olds would. She was 9 at this point. So we've got that, and I'm just using, I like my amigurumis quite tight, so I go down quite a few hook sizes. So this is a DK weight yarn that I'm using, but which would normally require, if you were doing amigurumis, the magazines recommend a 3 or 3.5. I'm using a 2.5, and this is just a cheap hook. It's so cheap that the size has worn off. I can just about make out on there that it's a 2.5mm hook. And I have got the body done. There it is. So this is going to be the tail, and this is where the head is going to be. So I quite like that this is done in various shades of purple. It's his intentional colour change on here, but I'm just going to work this and let the colours roll. So that's it. So I am going to just pause my camera because I'm getting close to the end of the timer before it cuts out, and I'll end up talking to nothing, and I will see you in just a mere moment. Yep. I'm back. Now onto a whip that I haven't shown for a little while actually. So, ooh, crikey, I just caused a project avalanche. I didn't realise what piled so precariously. One of the reasons I subscribed to Crochet Now magazine was I was tempted by this crochet along, and this is the Life Inspired Cow by Helen Shrimpton, and I believe it's currently a free pattern on her website. So if it is, I will link it, and any other thing that I talk about that has a link available to it will all be down below, so that you can go and have a look for yourselves. It was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I learned so much making this, and it's quite funny how, as the months have progressed, the quality of my crocheting has got better. So I have some that need fixing, where the magic circle, well, I've not sewn my ends in properly basically, and the magic circles come out, so that needs rescuing. But anyway, so they have the most amazing crochet alongs. They've given a sneak peek of the next one. When is it? Am I looking at the wrong one? Yes, I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh dear me. So it's the better picture is in this copy. So this is the Celestia CAL, and just look at that blanket. It's gorgeous, isn't it? So this I made with the called for yarn because it came as a subscription gift. This one I'm using, I'm not sure I've got, oh yes I do. I am using the James C. Brett Top Value DK, which is really good value. It's a really nice quality acrylic yarn, and for something like a blanket that's going to take lots of yarn, I do tend to go for the value products because, well, we're not made of money, unfortunately.
I wish you were.
If I had all the money in the world, there are so many brands of yarn, so many indie dyes that I'd like to try, but at the moment I'm having to restrict myself. Excuse me, I'm going to just, oh dear. Oh, one of those moments when you had a really tickling my nose. So this one is the cream, obviously, and the other colours are blue, grey, mustard, green and pink, I think, were the main colours. So I've finished all of the colour work. It's a mosaic, it's done in the mosaic style. This is what I had left. I basically bought the same quantity of balls of each colour as in the kit, and I've just sent you my bag on the floor. So there's the colours, and they're just really lovely colours.
Watch it.
Oh, I'm just going to place those on the floor there and collect them later. So I have actually started joining all of the hexagons. I have on occasion shown a few of these as I've been going along. So I won't show all of the hexagons. I will just show what I've got joined up. How's that? Oh, that's okay. I've got a stitch marker holding it. So here is the joined blanket so far. So this is a join as you go method of joining. So I'm basically double crocheting in a certain method going around. And the next row that I'm working on is to go around here and between these to join them up before I start adding on the next row. I'm loving this blanket so much. It's beautiful, and I really enjoyed working on each and every single hexagon. I do find I have a bit of a love of mosaic crochet actually. It gives such an effective design from really simple patterns, and the last 2 months worth of hexagons I actually crocheted from the chart rather than the written instructions. And I've also found that working on Catherine's Lapis tunic as well, that I found I'm using the chart more than I am the written instructions, which is really strange because for the longest time I've really struggled to read anything with a chart. So that might mean, because Drops, which is, it's not really a budget yarn company, but they have really nice quality yarns at a purse friendly price, but they also have lots of free patterns that I really like. They've got some beautiful things, so I might even be able to start looking at those now, because for the most part their crochet patterns have been charts rather than written instructions, which has put me off a little bit. So I'm going to have to just jump up and go over there and get the other bag, so I might cut this bit out. Right, okay, so I'm not going to show my sheepies whip today because I have got literally half a round done. Naughty me. I've been so busy at work that I'm come home and I'm just fit to collapse. So I'm not wanting to work on something that I'm not spending as much time working on some of the projects in the week as they come up to work on. So I'm tempted I might concentrate on this for a few days, get this finished because it's so close to being finished, and then I might take a few days to concentrate on my sheepies, but I'm not sure. I'll have to wait and see, because next week I have the added complication of Emily being home when I get home from work. So what normally happens is Simon, my husband, will take the girls to school and Grandma will pick them up and take them to her house for a couple of hours while Simon finishes his day's work, because he works from home. And with us both having key worker status, they've been able to continue going to school in the lockdown. However, Today we got a message from the school saying that one of the children in Emily's class has tested positive for coronavirus. So far, Emily's fine. She's not showing any symptoms, and after a little chat with her, it sounds like the child that has the symptoms has tested positive isn't one of her friends. So I'm hoping that we don't all have to isolate for the next couple of weeks if she does end up with it. However, that hour that I had from myself getting home from work, and you'll have to excuse the sniffing. Catherine has a runny nose by the sounds of it. Can you try and sniff quieter? There's some tissues just over there if you want to go and get them.
I'll get the whole box.
So you'll just have to excuse Catherine as she walks past. Sometimes I wonder why I had children. Please don't. Please don't. Anyway, could you blow your nose in the other end of the living room? Oh dear, children. Really? Why did I have children?
Why did you say that in front of me?
Just think of the size craft room I could have.
If you didn't have me and Emily.
That's right. Your room would be my craft room, and Emily's room would be Simon's photography studio.
You mean Daddy's?
Simon, my husband, is an amateur photographer, and he does quite well. He's a member of the local photography society, and quite often wins first prize in the categories he enters into. So I'm very proud of him. Anyway, you don't want to hear about that. So what was I? Yes, so this will definitely be finished by the time I film next. We shall see. Anyway, yes, that hour I have to work on something between getting home from work and starting to cook dinner, and the girls coming back from Grandma's has now gone because I now have to entertain Emily out of the way of Daddy, so Daddy can get some work done. Right, now my next work in progress. It's not a lot of progress, but it's a little bit more of the lace pattern on this to show you from the last time that I showed it. So this is the Summer Court tank, and it is a Dragon Hoard Yarn design. Now she often posts pictures of her yarn, but she's in America, so that's out of the question. Buying yarn from America is definitely out of the question. It's so expensive to bring it across. So, but I am making this in some hand-dyed yarn by a UK company, and it's Cuddle Bums. There it is. I'm not sure if you're picking up any of the sparkle, but this is...
Sparkly balls. Yeah.
Let's get the skein out so I could... This is Mint Rainbow, and there are 400 metres in a skein. It is 75% superwash, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina sock. And I don't know why it's not focusing very well. But there, you can still see the colours. There. I just love these colours so much. But my dilemma is they are working up. I'm not sure if they're a little bit... Oh, crikey. I'm in a proper dangle. I'm not sure if the colours are working up just a tiny bit. Let's pull that out a little bit. I'm really worried about losing my stitches. So I'm not sure if the yarn is just a little bit too busy for the lace pattern. It's probably going to be perfect for when it's going up. Can't get it to focus on that lace. There it is. Don't we not have the silly side effects?
But they make the video fun.
Well, it's not supposed to be that kind of fun.
It has to be fun. In my fun.
Yes, but the kind of YouTube you watch and the kind of YouTube that Mummy watches and possibly the people that watch this, very different. So I've finished the first repeat of the lace and I'm just into the second set. And I was having trouble with remembering, with staying within the pattern repeat on the rows. So I have put in these little sort of safety pin type stitch markers to keep track. So I know that I have my knit 3 purl 1 at the start and I end with a purl 1. So I know that if I've done it right, that's where I should start and finish a section of the lace. But I'm really enjoying working on it. I haven't had much experience in knitting anything lace, so I am a bit worried about making mistakes, and I have made a couple of mistakes on here in the lace, but I'm struggling to spot where. I'm hoping that it's low enough down in the pattern that and I can keep it correct for the rest of it. It won't be too much of an issue. But this is a paid pattern. I was lucky enough to get it as a free pattern for a Thanksgiving giveaway. Well, it wasn't technically a giveaway. She put a voucher code on her Instagram feed. So I do recommend that you follow some of these designers because there are often discount codes or even occasionally free pattern codes, because this pattern would normally cost about $7, so that's about £5-ish, £4 or £5. So it's always worth following all of these, and I just like looking at the yarn. Every time I have Instagram open, Simon, my husband, just turns around and says, "Oh, we've gone yarn porn again." Yes, because I follow so many dyers and a large majority of them, unfortunately, are American dyers. I do follow quite a few UK dyers too, and it's trying to be good. I'm trying to be good. Really trying. I got the email this morning from Orchidine Yarns, Luxury Yarns, that my subscription has renewed and should be on its way soon. So I'm subscribed to her, I think it's is it Wildflower or is it something flower yarn subscription. So I get 100 grams of her yarn every 2 months is how I've subscribed to it. You can choose to subscribe every month, every 2 months or every 3 months, and I've gone for every 2 months for now. I can see that going to monthly, but I'm going to keep it to every 2 months for now because I don't want to build too much of a stash of my hand dyed yarn, because at the moment I'm struggling to find patterns that I'm brave enough to use it on. So yes, so on to my next whip anyway, because I'm wittering on again. This is a pattern from my Crochet So Lovely book, which was a present from Simon, not the Christmas just gone, but the Christmas before. He bought me 2 lovely crochet pattern books, and this is what I'm working on, the Lapis Wesek Tunic, and I'm on the lace section, which is really easy. This is where I've discovered my ability to read a chart, and I really, it threw me. Being able to read a chart, it really did throw me. So the yarn I'm using, oh, I don't have anything still with a ball band around it, so let's use, is Red Heart Heads Up. Now, I believe this is a discontinued yarn. It's a, this is colour 00872, which is essentially, it's just blue. This was from my mum's stash. Unfortunately, she's no longer with us. And I, as the principal at the time knitter crochet, I was only, hadn't got into crochet when she had passed away. It was something she kept trying to teach me, but I just couldn't get the hang of. And all of a sudden, I decided to have a go, and it clicked. And I remember sitting in my room on my bed saying, "Mummy, look, I'm getting it." So she's probably sat up there at the time thinking, "Oh, Helen, really?" She's probably also thinking, "We can start using my stuff now." Anyway, here is my progress on the tunic. So it's got this humongous ribbed cowl neck that is designed to sit just off the shoulders, so it sort of will be out like that. And then I've got the lace section started. Now this is a chunky, a level 5 bulky yarn, so it's a really chunky one. And I've really liked working with this yarn. It is a tad splitty, so some of the ribbing stitches were a bit of a pain to do. I'm getting so much fluff on my stuff. So many bits. And yeah, so we've got, so I've just joined for the underarms, so I'll hold it upside down. So these are the armholes here. So I'm really just working on the straight down now until it's long enough to fit Catherine. I don't know whether or not to just keep going until I run out of yarn and aim for dress length, so she can maybe wear it over a vest and some leggings, or stop it at sort of waist length. I'm not sure yet. I shall keep trying it on her and see. So yes, I'm really enjoying that. Let's pop this away. The worst thing about podcasting is the tidying up afterwards. Or if you can see the mess I have around my feet right now of all the things that I'm working on. So I'm not going to show you my hummingbird cardigan this week either, mainly because I haven't had much chance to work on it. And when I had worked on it, I got about 3 or 4 rows into the first repeat when I realised I'd actually chained the wrong amount of chains for the sleeve. So I had to rip it back and start again. Oh, I meant to show you, I have a new knitting bag from Aldi. So last time I showed you my I Love Crochet one, or no, it was Crochet No Way or something, No Way Crochet. But this is the Aldi tote bag. It's only £4. So these are really, really handy little things. So I might get a few more if there were quite a few left still. But I'm not sure with the yarn sale coming in, I'm not sure how that's going to be affected. So yes, I'm getting to below the 10 minutes left on the timer, so I'm going to pause again and start back up. And I'm back. Right, just one more whip left to show you, and it's actually a new start. And it's a extra special new start because I'm using a birthday present. So it was my birthday on Monday, which was the 1st of March, and my girls love buying me yarn. So one of the gifts that I got, let me get the tag out, was some woolly mama yarns, hand-dyed yarn, and There's the details. So it's blueberry jam is the colourway. It's a 4-ply fingering weight yarn. 100 grams, 425 metres. It's 75% superwash, 25% nylon, and I've hand washed gently. So here is the yarn in all of its gorgeousness. And the way the yarn is caked is also a clue as to my other birthday present. Just look at it. I had to start something. It was my birthday. I have to be allowed a new start for my birthday, surely. But I've chosen something that's working up quite quickly, so I might not be working on it for too long. And this is, now I have to remember because I haven't printed the pattern out and it's downloaded on my phone, which is over there, and you've already seen me getting uploads. So this is, I think, and if I'm wrong I will put it on the screen, the Cascading Staircases shawl. There it is. It's not very big at the moment, although that is only around an hour's worth of work there. I'm sure as the rows get longer, it will be harder to work. It will take longer to make progress, but I'm really enjoying this a lot. It's really, really nice. It's really simple. It's just eyelet lace. So that's the easiest lace there is. I'm going to have to block the heck out of it. I don't do blocking very often. I probably should, but I don't. But just with the points, it's supposed to have points at each change, and certainly the points where the lace is not as pronounced. And I just want to open that lace up a little bit as well. But just look at those colours. Oh, just look at those beautiful, beautiful colours. I can't wait to wear it. It's so beautiful. I didn't want to go to bed. I just wanted to keep working on it. But I had to go to bed because I had work the following morning. So that is my last work in progress. Which brings us, excuse me, to incoming. Which isn't huge. I have been quite restrained. It's more books and magazines than yarn, I'm proud to say. The new yarn that I have is, you've seen my birthday yarn. But I've had my subscription from Dinah's Home of Crafts. And I will show you her card. There it is. And I'll show you the stitch mark. The stitch mark is just so beautiful. Actually, let's try and pop it through on the other side so you see it against the white background when it's not twisting around. Look at that, it's a little rainbow.
Isn't that pretty?
So the theme for this month's box, I subscribe to a 3 mini skein a month box. She does have 1 mini skein, 3 mini skeins, and a full 5 is a 5 is a full set. They're 20 gram minis, and I think my it's about £12. I think it's about £12 a month that I pay for mine. And the theme is rainbow. Look at those colours. How beautiful are they? They are beautiful. Now I am putting together a little gift box for one of my subscribers, and she knows who she is. As she's been so lovely to me that I want to put something together as a little thank you for her. So I just need to decide which one of those to send her as a little gift, because they're all so beautiful. and I have to share the love. And yes, oh, they're so pretty. I had the worst day at work. It had been so busy, and just about every complaining, whinging customer that could possibly have walked through the door had, and every single one of them had an inquiry that needed me to deal with rather than any other member of the team that day. But depending on where we are in the bank that day, I was on the inquiry desk dealing with all the complex stuff. And so unfortunately I had one of those days where I was like, I cannot wait and to come home and have this. Or we also had to stay late because we had an issue where we had to invoke something called banking protocol, where we were concerned that there might have been some pressure or duress under a customer to make a withdrawal. So we didn't get out till an hour and a half after we normally do. So to get home and have this waiting, I was just, the beautiful colours. And apparently they 3 out of the 5 skeins that mini skeins that she dyed react under black light. How I wish I had a black light. I'm dying to know if any of mine, I mean, odds are at least one of them will. So, but they're so beautiful. And I don't know can't wait to see how they knit up as well. I don't know if they're going to stripe or the colours are going to pull. I'm just so excited to work with those. So I need to find some mini skein projects. If anybody has any suggestions for a mini skein project, please let me know in the comments. I love to see comments below. I also like to see emails. If you want to email me, have a chat, that's fine. I do enjoy, I might not always reply to them straight away, but I do try and reply to everything someone sends me. And I'm also on Instagram as Crochet Moments and Ravelry. I should have done all of this right at the start. I'm also Ravelry Helen Brown Crochet. Oh crikey, I'm all mixed up today. So what else have I had come? Ooh, all this lovely stuff. Actually, shall I show my other birthday present? Where's that hook gone? Oh, I've had a hook go missing. That's not good. This is what happens when you let children sit next to you. Oh, there it is. It's got buried. Right, yes, my other Christmas present. I got a wool winder. So I have been caking everything. If it's got a band on it, I'm leaving it as it is. I don't want to cake it unless it's in my scraps box, or if it's
something to do with us kids,
or if it's about to be used. Now I do have a whole box of scraps, and the girls have been in the mornings, Mummy, can we find some yarn? More Catherine than Emily. Catherine loves winding yarn at the moment, so who am I to say no to that? So so I've been caking things. So obviously you saw my yarn cake there, and I'm still getting the hang of it, but I think I'm just about getting there with attention. So so I also had my Crochet Now subscription turned up. There aren't as many patterns in this one that I want to do as there are usually, but one thing that did stand out for me was the Ostaria Chant Wrap, which is a really, really pretty lacy wrap, which I'd love to have a go at doing. This one uses Rowan Alpaca Soft DK. I don't think I'll be using Rowan because it uses 8 50-gram balls, which are probably likely to about £7 or £8 each. But I shall find something either in my stash. I do want to, for the most part, use my stash, so I am choosing patterns to work on that uses stash. So also that came with it, which is what I was looking for before, with this really, really lovely Bella Coco crochet hook, a 5mm, and look at the sparkles. And it came with some lovely stitch markers. So we've got a lovely star, if I can get it to show. And a pretty moon as well. And I've just noticed they've got a little bit of glitter in them as well. So the stitch markers are a little bit sparkly too. So they're really nice. And we also got 12 months of Crochet Society. I already have all of these patterns. So yes, this one might find its way into one of my giveaways in the future, because I already have the patterns, so I don't need them. And it's just lovely, really, really nice. So the patterns that are featured in here, so they've divided it by seasons. So the shawl, I've made all of these. I have made every single one of those items, and oh, hang on, this is my favourite. I did make this, but I thought if I make it again, I'd need to make it a little longer. It wasn't quite long enough for my taste, but yes, so if you are interested in that, do drop me a line. I might put it aside to pop in a giveaway. I'm conscious that not everybody will want it though as a part of a giveaway. If you have a special interest in it, just let me know. I'm happy to post. So I also bought my first ever The Knitter, because this pattern here really drew my eye. I really want... This year is the year I'm going to learn colour work. This might be a little bit complicated for my first try. But this is definitely something I want to make, and it has a cardigan that matches. That cardigan is just amazing. I need that cardigan in my life. I want that cardigan. It's just so lovely. And the thing I spent this month's yarn budget on, I bought myself some Scheepjes Yarn books. I got numbers 4, 5, 7 and 8. And I'm seriously considering subscribing to them. I wanted to get these just to see what I thought of them, if they would be worthwhile, because they're not cheap. And these ones I got at quite a reduced cost actually, because they usually RRP at about £10, and these varied between £6 and £7.50 each. So that's why I bought 4 of them. So I got the Dutch Masters one, and for me there were only 2 patterns that stood out for me on this one. Was first this poncho. Just you, that poncho. That's beautiful, isn't it? I really want to make that. And then there was this beautiful scarf with some overlay on it. I'm not sure whether I'll actually make it, but it's definitely one I'm thinking of making. It's just that would make an awesome gift for somebody. And it's Tunisian crochet, which I'm not the best at, but practice makes perfect. And the other one that I picked was Woman. I essentially looked at what they had on special in the offer that were in stock, and there was there were a few standout patterns in this one, but this one is just, I think this is probably the best set of photos. Just look, there's a crocheted, oh, wrong side. There's a crocheted shawl and a knitted shawl, and I love both of those. both of those are in my whip list because I need to have these. And they're done in Our Tribe, which is a yarn I've really wanted to try. So somewhere towards the end of the year, as I've worked down my stash and I have a few gaps on my yarn shelf, I might treat myself to some Our Tribe. And I got the Reef edition, and there were quite a few patterns in here that I really liked the look of. Let's just pick one or two to show you. This one, it's a vest and cardigan combo, and I saw the vest pattern, the picture of the vest there, and I thought, not sure. But then I saw the back of it, which is this one here, and I love that. I really love that. So I need this is just. And then I got the Tea Room edition, which again you can see all the little post-its, the things that I want to make, and let's just pick one or two things from here that I've marked that I like the look of. Oop. Yes, this poncho. They're all ponchos. Like that poncho there is gorgeous. And there is also a jumper in here that looks knit, but it's actually crochet. The Lady Mabel sweater. I really like the look of that. I'm going to have sweaters coming out of my ears and cardigans. So, yes, as far as I can remember, that's all my incoming. Yes. So I'm almost done. I just thought I'd like to share with you what I'm reading in the last few minutes, because one of my other loves is reading. I do read a lot of books. Maybe not as many as I used to, just because I'm so tired when I go to bed. I only have time for about 15 minutes reading before I'm falling asleep with a book on my face. So I told you about this. I just started reading this the last time I talked about something I was reading. And this is The Help by Catherine Stockett. And I have finished reading this and it was amazing. It was so good. It took a little while to get into because, as I discussed before, everything's written in the first person, and the Black American, was it African American? What's the right term these days? I lose track. I really do. I don't want to offend anybody, so I'm really sorry if I've used the wrong term. But basically, it's based in the 60s, the early 60s in Mississippi, America. And the maids there, it's written in the tone that they would be speaking, with the intonations, the slightly different ways of pronouncing words, and it took me a chapter or two to get used to that. But once I got used to it, it felt like I was hearing the character's voice in my head, which I really like about reading a book. And just the story grabbed me. There's a white young lady who has an ambition to be a writer, and the way her white friends treat their coloured maids doesn't sit well with her, and she writes a book about it. And yes, I don't want to give too much away, but it's such a good book. It is such a good book. The thing that threw me a little bit, and it is acknowledged in the author's notes at the back, it is written by a white author, which for me, it doesn't sit well. I would love to read a book like this written by somebody who will either have direct experience or or has family experience, so that they're drawing on their side of it. Because to be talking as a white person speaking for a black maid in the 60s, I don't know. But anyway, I still enjoyed it. It's a really good read, and I do recommend that to anybody. And I am currently now reading Amy Tan, The 100 Secret Senses. So this is probably going to let you know that I'm quite eclectic in my tastes. And I do have a Ken Follett book sitting on my shelf waiting to be read, which I treated myself to the other day as well. I have to stop treating myself. March has been an expensive month. I had the dentist this evening as well. But this is, I'm not quite sure what the general theme of the book is. We've got a Chinese family, and it's drawing on ghost stories from China, the folklore, and it's very strange reading, but it's one I am enjoying. It doesn't jump around too much, which is what I was worried about, because it starts with the description of the character being 5 years old when her older half-sister is brought in from China, and basically turns everybody upside down with her predictions of ghost visits, and she has some sort of ability to maybe not predict the future but incite the future. So she has some insight into what might happen and predict it that way. I'm not sure where it's going, but I'm enjoying it a lot. And hopefully I shouldn't take too long to get this finished, because it's only about 300 pages long. Wow, okay, I think I'm finished chatting now. So I'm really sorry if I've just gone on and on and on. I shall probably leave it there, as I'm getting to less than 10 minutes again. Hopefully this isn't too long. If it is and you've lasted this long, well done. If you have liked this video, please give me a like. It doesn't cost anything, but it does move me up and get me a few more views, and definitely recommend me to your friends if you have yarny friends. I don't have yarny friends, which is why I have this channel, because I have you. You are my yarny friends. And so please consider subscribing if this is content that you'd like to see on a regular basis, and if you just tick the bell button, that will let you know when I upload. I do upload content only every 2 weeks or so. Every now and then there might be an extra video, so you won't get swamped with video alerts. I've got a few subscriptions that I subscribe to that sometimes seems to be 2 or 3 videos a day, so I've had to turn those notifications off. That's just too many notifications in a day for me. But anyway, I'm just rambling again, so I'm going to go get myself a drink. I'm not sure if that will have alcohol or if that might be a tea. I think tea tonight. I quite fancy a tea. So I shall bid you good night, and although it won't be good night necessarily when you watch this, I shall see you again in a couple of weeks. I hope you all stay well and stay safe and have a good yarny time. Bye!